All righty, good morning, OMG. Just getting things cranked up here. Gonna check on quality of the feed. My internet connection's been going in and out all morning. We've got some storms moving through Phoenix, so we'll do a quick sound check here. We may lower the stream quality a little bit just to make sure that that things work. So let's see what we have here. Where's my sound? All right, what's going on? All right, there I can hear myself. All right, guys, so we are live. Got both windows open for NHB as well as assimilation. If you happen to be on the poster for this office hour session in the OMG way, please go over to the membership area and post any questions or comments you guys have there, please. So had a couple questions come in via message. A couple were kind of long. I'm going to open one of those up and see if we can kind of work through a little bit from Nickel here. Had a lot to do with, let me just read. I read it earlier when it was sent, and need to kind of refresh I don't even know if that's a word, refresh my memory a little bit. She preferred not to have the site shared, which is fine. I think we can maybe work through this question without that. I'll kind of read over it and then translate the gist of what's going on. She's wanting to rank a local website that is not using their physical address as the Google My Business address that is going to wind up in the map pack. One of the reasons is their warehouse is not in the center of town, and they use a UPS box as a mailing address. So from what I understand, that can work. It sometimes does not work. It's not a practice I typically utilize. But that said, I do know of people who have UPS box addresses that are ranked. Looks like Bright Local audit on the citations was done and put together for the keywords. And this particular company is a franchise business. Okay, so currently site has a homepage, services page, and 3 pages underneath services, which include keywords. All right, so, and then a contact and about us page. Plan is to add terms of use and privacy page and testimonials page. Plan to geotag images on the site. All citations, a little over 80, and social accounts are pointing to the homepage. All brand and URL links, PBN1 going to the Yelp page with anchor text that's keyword, PBN1 to a Facebook page with a different keyword anchor text, PBN2 to Yelp with a keyword, a third keyword, and then PBN2 also linking to Manta, which is a social citation site that's pretty snazzy to use with a, looks like a 4th variation of keywords, PBN3 to Twitter, 4 to Yelp again. No PBN directly to the site, 6 blog posts about LSI and related keywords. Homepage currently ranks on Google low to middle of page 2 for all 3 keywords. Okay, so the gist of the question then, number 1 is, are those keywords similar enough that it is possible and likely to be able to rank the homepage for all 3 keywords? Even though we aren't kind of sharing the keywords or site, yes, the answer is yes. They were only slightly different. They had it would be equivalent to window replacement, window repair, window installation. If those were all in Phoenix, single page can rank for all 3 of those keywords. Absolutely. And then I really don't worry too much about, so the second part of that first question was the strategy in linking and putting together you know, I want to rank this particular page for this particular term. I don't care about that so much. I push juice to the page that looks like it's, you know, optimized for the keyword. And if Google wants to put my homepage up there or that page or even a sub page of it, I really don't care too much. So In that regard, I try to get all of the pages on my site that potentially could rank in good enough shape that if I get traffic to them, they're going to convert. So from Greg's teachings about importance of keywords in the domain, or anchor text, keyword and URL, keyword and title, keyword and content, keyword and meta, ellipses here, my site homepage title is keyword inspection, blah, 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 blah. You're fine with that strategy. One thing to keep in mind, is for Nicole as well as anybody else, because I've had a lot of questions about this. So you've got what people tend to think of as their tier 1 link, packages. So they've got, in this particular video, Yelp and Facebook and Manta as the tier 1, right? That's the first tier of URLs offsite that are linking back to the website. But even within Yelp or within Manta, there are pages linking to that main profile page. Sometimes those pages will have a link on them that goes out to the site. Sometimes they don't. Let me bring up an example of that, just to give you guys a little better idea. Where can we pull this? Let's go over to this. I think we can maybe show an example from, if we do that, then the message is going to show. Yeah, that'll work. So if I just open up a new, here for Facebook, and we go to like search explosion. Go ahead and close the message. Then I'll do a why in the world did that get shared? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let me go grab screen share and then find that page, which is right there. All right, so this is Search Explosion's Facebook page. So on this particular page, there's a contact us button. So if we inspect this element, the contact us button winds up opening up all this big old mess of stuff, right? So it's kind of hard to wade through to even see where the link is going to or coming from, right? Got a ton of stuff that's behind this button. So if we do click on it, though, what's going to happen? Come on. It's not activating for me for some reason. Anyway, we've got a link that's behind this button that goes to our website. Link effectively is not going to count much because it's wrapped in a bunch of JavaScript. Probably not going to be crawled that much, and even if it does, it's probably not going to show up. We do typically have those in About page that has a link that looks like it's to our site. But if we inspect element, we wind up with, so this is very complicated, but you see an open of an A tag here, right? And here's the href to my website. And it's a no follow. Okay, so if we're linking from Facebook About page, we're going to get a no follow link. All right. On your services page, you can typically add a service and create a description that has an A tag in that as well. Okay, that service is going to wind up with another no follow link, but what you can do is add it to an inner page, on your site. You can match that up one-to-one, have this be effectively a mirror site of your website. So if you've got inner pages that are set up for instance, Search Explosion has an inner page called SEO Phoenix. If I wanted to add a service, I could name this SEO services in Phoenix. Easy. I am this much, and we could link to HTTP searchexplosion.com/SEO-Phoenix. Okay, a little live tutorial here for how you can put this together. I don't think this is going to pop up, but I don't know. I'm going to grab a picture real quick, and you guys can see what we're looking at. I think I've got something here. Maybe let's just go ahead and be this cool. This will be our picture. We'll upload that and we'll save it. And so what we wind up after this thing goes live is now on this page, if we refresh, it'll come up as another no follow link. So if we click on this, not visible, make the services of search explosion visible. So make services section visible on your page so people can see it. Yes, that's fine. So now that it's visible, come back over here to, I think, the home page, right? Wind up with, my internet's just bugging me today. Where's my services page? There. So services now becomes an active link, and we can go here and we get this card for this particular service, right? So it's going to be crawled. I think you can drag these around. This looks a little bit different when you're not logged in as an admin on a page, but I like to put things like this together for my websites. If I have services on inner pages that aren't necessarily reflected by the brand name. Now, in addition to that, one of the things I will say on this question in particular is that most of these platforms, like Yelp, like Facebook, like Manta, will give you a no-follow link. Now, no-follow links push juice. They work just fine, but they do not carry nearly as much influence as a do-follow link. So by not having a do-follow link going to the website directly, the anchor text that you're using on that strategy is going to get diluted considerably. Okay. If we look at this inner page, because there's not, I don't think it'll let me. Yeah, it won't let me. This doesn't become its own URL, I don't believe. It's possible, but I think even for someone visiting this site, it's not going to create its own URL. So we do not have the ability to get a keyword in the URL string for Facebook page, other than your branding. The about just leaves it pretty much at the about is the slug, and then reviews will give us reviews is the slug. And so if you can kind of follow through, what I'm doing here is I'm looking for opportunities to get keyword in the URL string as well as a do follow link. So those don't currently exist on Facebook, right? Because of that, I'm probably going to want to make use of other do follow links that are pointing to my particular website. So if we go into HRES real quick, because I can't really show the domain on this question, I'm just using my site as an example site. So we can go through here and look at backlinks, and probably would filter by the power of the link. And then I would start going down here and sorting. If it's got a strike through, it's a no follow. So these are no follow, no follow, no follow, no follow. All right, here we go. I'm starting to get some stuff, a bunch of random things. Random. So redirect, here we go. What's this one coming from? Phoenix Chamber of Commerce. Okay, so this is a different scenario. Let's open this puppy up and see what we're looking at. So this is my my profile page on Phoenix Chamber of Commerce, which I joined primarily for the links, but also some networking opportunities that we're putting together through the rest of this day. So what we can see here is we have a visit site link. If we inspect element, I know this is pretty small for you guys, but you can follow the strategy, right? We're highlighted down here. This is a href with some other elements within it, but it is a do follow link, goes to search explosion. Okay, and the text on it is visit site. So it's pretty cool, right? We've got a generic anchor text, we've got brand name in the URL, and this is also important. Sometimes you can define the category of business that you are. I am a search engine optimization company. Because of that, this particular link puts search engine optimization in the URL string, okay? And then my brand name on the page that I am currently on. So kind of cool. You can also make use of this as a hub. You can see connect with us here on Facebook. Let's open this element up and see what that link looks like. It's an image embed with alt Facebook pointing to where? It's going to be a redirect, it looks like. Where's my target? Yeah, it goes through a big old redirector, which isn't too bad. So eventually, if I click here, it goes through a redirect and then it lands on this page. Okay, so a hub like Chamber of Commerce, you can see why it's a little more influential than some of the free listings you can get from like Yelp and Manta and things like that. So let me go ahead and kill the screen share so I can open the question back up and then see if there's some more subsequent information there that wants to go out and play. All right, got a question that popped up, but couldn't figure out the context for it. So let me grab the last part of this question. All right, part 2 was, would a change like, I guess, possibly improve the ranking without stuffing, or is it too much? And then she is asking about, I assume that change was going to be about the site title. No, the site title that you propose in step 2 there, Nikel, is just fine. It doesn't look repetitive or stuffed at all. It was just a pretty much a long string of keywords with different variations, which would get all of the keywords she was going after in the page title, which is helpful. And then does the exact phrase need to be on the page? Exact, no, but the keywords, I won't say need to be, but it's very helpful if they are. I've tested having keywords even invisible, meaning that the user does not witness or has no way to witness the keywords on a page, and you can rank a page for that just fine. So they need to be someplace in the rendered HTML in no particular order. They just need to be there. But the more particular order you're in, the more influential that string of text on your page will be. Okay. And then in my current situation, do you think, can I link my supporting services pages to my homepage? Absolutely. And then send external PBN links to socials, citations, and supporting services pages. Yeah, and I also look and maybe do some research, some backlink research to see if you can find some do follow backlinks that are going to be influential and push those PBN links through those as well, because those are going to push more juice than the no follows coming out of the citations and things like that. Not that I ignore these pages like Facebook and Yelp and YouTube, but I like to push juice through do follows when I can, especially if they are very non-spammy, meaning not many people want to spend $400 to get a backlink from the Phoenix Chamber of Commerce, right? That's not something that people tend to do on just throwaway websites. Will create too much competition. Can I rank the homepage successfully with more PBNs and social citations and find reverse sink or swim? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So that's kind of where I was coming from with the first part of the answer that I gave. The subsequent question that Nikel had was finding other opportunities with reverse sink or swim to push juice through. I think that's a great strategy. It's one of my primary strategies when I take on a new client, is to figure out what links they already have and then juice those links up, especially if they're good. If they're not any count, any quality of high quality, then building new links is the next strategy. Yeah, there's a question from Mark about powering up some level 2 stuff, tier 2 stuff, and asking if I had any specific recommendations. I don't actually, Mark. I use different services from time to time. Since I don't know any of them personally, I would, the quality of outsourcers on places like Fiverr and things tends to go up and down, even within one like gig or service provider. So myself and Greg, I've noticed there's times that we've recommended something, and then they wind up getting slammed with orders, and they can't handle the orders, and then all the orders wind up not getting fulfilled very well. And that's kind of the opposite of what everybody was expecting out of it, myself or Greg or any of our members included. So it just doesn't work so well to recommend those gigs typically. They wind up getting slammed, and then they can't keep up. It's not that they're necessarily bad at what they do, but it's just that a lot of those services aren't really set up to scale the way that mentioning a gig on a webinar, and then somebody getting 60 or 70 orders in a single day, it just tends to degrade the quality. All right, so let's go ahead and say some hellos. We got a lot of people on both groups today. Wanted to mention, since we are rolling along here pretty well already, that this will be the last Fletcher's Garage session for a while. Certainly not forever. It's something I like to do, but there is just a lot that needs to be done, and we still have my my Sundays. This is kind of a bonus session that we put together about mid-year anyway. So it's been a ton of fun. These all have been recorded, and they'll be in the membership area for people to watch on replay. But the Tuesday morning, Fletcher's Garage sessions are going to retire for a little while after this session. So we still have Project Orlando cranking through mid-October, another month or so on that, and then we may kind of play around with some ideas for different office hour or something through the end of the year. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see what goes on there. Elizabeth and Trudy on, Brian's in the right place, but I think he got refreshed. So I didn't get the video posted until about 15 minutes before the session. If anybody has questions that somebody else notices in these question threads, then just please let somebody know that they need to refresh their page. Ernie, just making sure we post questions here. Yep, that'll be just fine. I have an e-com site I'm working on. I was hoping Fletch could take a look at it. It's not ranking for anything, not even its brand name. Yeah, go ahead and put that that domain in the question thread here, Ernie, and I can take a look at that. That'd be fun. Trudy added countdown features. Love stream. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's something that comes along with scheduling a live event in YouTube. That's a little different than the Google Hangouts were. This is still run through the Google Hangout platform. It's just now attached to YouTube. So I like that too. Kind of gives people an idea of when we'll get started. Also makes me start on time, I guess, because I've got the countdown as well. All right, looks like sound's coming through for everybody. Brian, that's what I'm doing with location home-based business using P.O. Box for mailings, and got to Google My Business verified in 60-mile radius. Yeah, I've got several Google My Businesses verified with home addresses. It's not really, the thing that I do all the time, but it does work. So happy last Garage Day. We'll have to put it on the calendar. What is this? September 20th or something? Yeah. Eugene here. Fletch, could you please show us how to add visible links in the SERP? What I mean is you showed us an example of the site that has links like contact us, testimonials, etc. under the meta description in SERP. We called this advanced SEO. Okay, so that was, I could have been referencing quite a few things. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Those are called site links. That was Eugene. So do a screen share here. Where are we? Let's just use that window. So what this is referring to, if we go to Google and we type in, well, for instance, it very often comes up for brands, right? So if I type in my brand name for search explosion here, I get below what are called site links, okay? And then I also get a snippet preview for more results, right? Even if I'm global, it still comes up the same way, right? Okay. So these site links come from typically a well-built site. And, that's kind of generic, it sounds like, but it actually has a meaning, right? The standards by which the internet works are a real thing. The algorithm is separate from it. The algorithm takes into account those web standards and weights those web standards. Okay. So for instance, search explosion, around my navigational elements, I have wrapped a site navigation element tag. Now what that means is, I can pull this up, site navigation element. Okay. Site navigation element tag is the navigation element of that page. So around these navigation elements, I have the site navigation element tag wrap. That is to give Google an idea of what are the primary pages to link to on a website. These typically, if you've got a decent number of them and they have some juice and they are well structured as well, will typically show up in these site links. Okay. So while it is advanced SEO, it is also just kind of the foundation of SEO, which is clearly communicating the value and the content of our websites. So you may notice Anchorage is in here as well. And we, just threw a page together, has the exact same content as the one from Phoenix. And I think we are ranking for it. Anchorage SEO. Services. Services is one of my keywords that I like. So we are not on page 1. It looks like we're on page 2 for that term. And yeah, bottom of page 1 for just the SEO term. And those site navigation elements, what I'm alluding to by showing you guys this, is that they typically will kind of funnel or harness more of the juice and push it through a site navigation element. Because what you're doing effectively is telling whatever bot comes, primarily Google, right? We're talking about Google SEO, that those are the important pages on my site because I have a site navigation element link pushing to them. So hopefully that makes sense and you guys kind of followed along, but those are called site links and they come from building a site well and being clear with what you are doing as far as those site navigation elements. I add those. They also tend to show up when you just have a little bit more authority, when you've got some more social profiles put in place, and when you've got links going to not just the home page, but to inner pages on your website. So great question. Elizabeth Fletcher, not sure how this happened, but the wrong Twitter account is on my Facebook page that I am managing. And there's a link. I've looked and looked and looked, but cannot see where to change it. I would love to add a website instead. How to do that? Okay, well, let's dig around and find out. Let's, okay, let me go ahead and close that bad boy. And then let's open up Facebook here. I'll have a clean window we're working on. And we'll see if we can kind of wade through what happened here with Elizabeth's either site or client's site. So let's open up screen share. Okay, so this is another one of my Facebook pages that is a brand that we're launching here in the near future. I have a feeling, and let me make sure I read on the Facebook page, right, that what Elizabeth is talking about is that on the About page that there is a Twitter URL in this website area. Whoops, highlighted way too much there. So if that's the case, let me maybe zoom a little bit. I'll zoom down again. Got too much stuff on my own screen to even see what I'm transmitting, but I think that's highlighted now, right? So you can see that website is highlighted. So if I hover over this, you see the edit pop up. You can click edit there and change the URL. If that's what you're talking about, Elizabeth, that's what I would do to change that. So I'm going to cancel that because this is my site. Yeah, I don't think that the other socials are hooked up through Facebook that I know of. I don't think it's really like a hub page like some of the other sites I'll let you do. So like for instance on, yeah, I don't think this will cause a problem. Like if you go to YouTube, you go to a channel page on YouTube, you can, so let's just go to like Search Explosives channel. And we look at, come on here. Always got to change things up. So the channel art is not showing because are we not wide enough? Or we just changed it? Yeah, just changed it. So up here, you can see that there are possibility on a YouTube channel for a lot more links, right? We can go to the website. This links to joshuafletcher.com. You can go to Google+. You can go to Facebook page, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Facebook's different than that. YouTube will let you do that, but those are no follows. Or I think they're no follows. Maybe no follows as well as a 301, but I know there are at least no follows. So anyway, I think I answered the question in as direct a way as I could. So if that was not where that's showing up though, Elizabeth, let me know. I'd be happy to go check around and see what I can put together for getting that changed. Michael, morning Fletch, just wondering which tool is best value for checking backlinks, anchor, HREFs, or SEMrush. Best value is going to be OMG Command Center by a long way because it's going to include the HREFs as well as Majestic and Open Site Explorer. SEMrush is a really good tool, but is not. It's mostly like a client-facing tool. You know, it's got some pretty graphics and stuff and some charts. As far as the technical, like heavy-duty, you know, stuff, how fast it crawls, how big its link index is, and all that other kind of thing, not the best tool. So I would go with Command Center. Kathy, morning Fletch and everyone. Question I'm working on my on-page site is not ranked. Have some errors showing up in the Search Console related to some images. Can you take a look at the attached structured data, which is the best way to clean up these errors? All right, I'm going to go ahead and open this, and then see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Got a bunch of stuff on my page, so not sure how much I can do with it. Come on. Oh, it's already that big. That's what's going on. Okay, so okay. So the error message that's coming up is HTTP versus HTTPS. Cattraffic.com is on HTTPS, but was requested by okay, start over. Cattraffic is on, it has an SSL certificate, okay? So it's on https://cattraffic.com. When you requested the Google font, it looks like Open Sans, the entire family, you requested it from an HTTP URL. So because you're on HTTPS, every element that's on your web page needs to be HTTPS if you're requesting an exterior resource. So let me do a screen share on this. It may not show up. You guys can see it if you're in the assimilation group, but for people in NHB, this is the error message. And so we've got a couple different pieces here. I might be able to make this just a little bit bigger still. That's about as big as I can get this with the current screen configuration I have. So what I was just reading here, if you start noticing it says HTTPS, was loaded over HTTPS, but requested an insecure style sheet. Okay, so it went to look for fonts on a non-SSL Google page, and then it went to look for another font on an insecure Google page. So you'll just need to change out that that requested style sheet with the HTTPS version. Fonts.google can be loaded up via HTTP or HTTPS. It's the exact same URL. The exact same thing will happen if you try to embed a video that is like on YouTube, but you're using the wrong version of the YouTube URL. So I found that out in the exact way that you probably would imagine, by trying to embed something that wouldn't show up, and I got the exact same errors. And so very common for that to happen as you're kind of building things through. And once you kind of stumble across that error, that'll be locked in your brain now for dealing with SSL sites. Fletcher, you doing live sessions over WordPress Special Ops? I think so. Yeah, we've been kind of talking about that somewhat to discuss the best way to handle the nature of that content. I imagine there will be some live sessions to support that. Ernie, Blue Ridge Outside would love some suggestions. Okay, so we got a link here from Ernie on the ecom site that was not even ranking for its brand name. And so let's start with this. Let me just go ahead and do a screen share on it. Come on. All right. So I just went to Google real quick, do a Google search for the HTTP, and that, yeah, that website is not indexed. So let's go see why. Well, all right, let's check our URLs there. Ernie, blueridgeoutside.com. Yeah, not even coming up for me. So either we grabbed the wrong URL, or the reason it's not ranking is because it's not put together. Yeah, resolving for me on this end. So give that a look over and see what's going on. Check her out. Does Ridge need an E? Blue Ridge. Give that a shot. Ridge. All right. Let's see if that resolves. Okay. There we go. Let's give this another go around. If this is incorrect, then whoops, did I do? Yeah. Let me do the screen share back. So if that was a typo, Cody caught that. Thank you, Cody. And so if that's the case, then we can kind of dig around on this. It's on an SSL. Let's kill that. See if we're indexed. The Ridge Outside. The Ridge Outside. It's matching up. So as long as that's spelled properly with the E on that, then it is it's indexed. Blue Ridge Outside indexes or ranks over to Blue Ridge Outdoors, probably a much more powerful site. Blue Ridge Outside is down here, about number 10. Probably having some issues with this being a brand name because Blue Ridge is a mountain range, and Outside is going to be mentioned in conjunction with Blue Ridge quite a bit. So in order to get, if this is the hammock company, in order to get this to be the brand name to show up much better. I'm going to go drop this here in the structured data testing tool. If you're not ranking for your brand name, this is one of the first things I do. Also check your anchor text percentages and make sure you didn't get yourself penalized for it. But it's an organization. Okay, we need an @ name. So we got an @ type. We need a name, not just a URL. Yeah, that's going to help quite a bit. So we've got a little bit of schema in here, but not as much as we could have. It's going to help Google understand that your company name is Blue Ridge Outside. Okay, it's not just a URL that you're on. From there, having to Google My Business, things like that. Let's go drop this in Hrefs and see what comes up. BlueRidgeOutside.com. Yeah, hardly any power. So that's the other thing that we need that we would need to address to get that thing ranking better for its brand name, because that is a somewhat, I'll call it generic search term, because those words don't have a specific meaning. They're kind of there's some slop in them. You know, blue is a color, ridge is, you know, of course, you know, along a mountain range or a high point of a mountain, and then outside is a very general term. And so any and every one of those combined together still probably have a lot of occurrences. I can kind of help show you that too. If we go back to search, where were we? Yeah, let's just go back to Google here. Okay, so if we type in quotes, Blue Ridge Outside, we're getting the site link. Oh no, yeah. So we've got 48 examples of those three in combination with each other. All right, they're on Lowe's, Glassdoor for some reason, Blue Ridge Outside Sales. Yeah, so like this, Blue Ridge Outside Sales Representative salary for, you know, somebody in Blue Ridge, Texas. It's an outside sales rep. So you can kind of see how those keywords kind of can form together in a bunch of different ways to have different meanings. And so by using something in structured data like schema.org or Open Graph Protocol, you can be a lot more specific with the meaning that you're trying to transmit with your strategy there. So, okay, cool. Prasanna here, Fletcher, been going through the Project Orlando webinars one by one. I do not see the latest one since September 4th. Am I missing something? Thanks. I'm not sure. It's possible I haven't got over the last webinar to David yet from Sunday. It's still on the site though. I haven't taken it down from the site, so you can watch it there. Screen share is totally blurry. Try settings, gear sign lower. Yeah, you can go lower. Cool. Kirsten, good. Thank you for coming on. And then Chad Feingold here. What do you use for recurring payments for clients? I've been using a letter of agreement through PandaDoc, Quote Roller, which is Stripe payment integrated, but that's just a card payment. Not fond of it right now. We're moving over to Zoho as a platform for our content management system and our accounting and rebills. So right now the rebills are all handled through PayPal still, but you can hook those up to something else like authorize.net if you want to process payments without PayPal. You'll have to get a merchant account, but it will integrate with most of the major payment processors, which is Zoho, Z-O-H-O. I like it for financial side of businesses. You know, keeping track of accounting and billing and invoicing and subscriptions and things like that. All right, cool. Jump over on NHB here, not to ignore anyone. From Lloyd, just wonder how many links would you create per month for a $500 client and say a $1,500 client? Is it the same number of links, just more difficult keyword and more linking? I hope this is the right place for the question. Yeah. So, It's a valid question, but I typically look at that scenario a little differently. I approach explaining the value of ranking differently than I think is pretty common. What we typically will do is get the web page and website, optimized for Google search engine, current algorithm, right? That's going to include a lot of elements that most sites don't put on their website. Sometimes it's just metadata, sometimes it's schema and open graph protocol. Just kind of depends, right? Depends on the difficulty, depends on the client, depends on how much competition there is for the search terms, okay? Now, beyond that, getting into the link situation. The links have everything to do with how you've structured your agreement, I guess. So if you're getting paid per month, then I would probably give enough value that you're not going to lose the client and that you're going to give the client what they expect over the time frame. So I know this is kind of meandering a little bit because I'm trying to kind of frame up why I do my client SEO differently as far as describing it. I have a payment for setting up SEO, and then I have how much is going to cost to rank you for a keyword. And you can pay for that cost over a given amount of months, like a payment plan, but it costs a certain amount. And that amount, like $6,000, it's going to cost you to rank for window repair in McKinney, Texas, or whatever. Okay. So the client knows it costs $6,000. Well, I can't pay $6,000 out of pocket all at once. All right. How about you pay $500 a month? It's going to take 12 months to get you there. Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right. Then we can do that. So now if I build the client 10 links in month 1 and 5 in month 2 and wait, 2 or 3 months for it all to kick in, client still owes me the money, the full $6,000. However long it takes for him to get there is how long it takes Google to, rank that website, which I'm pretty good at doing right now, right? So I describe within my offer, and this is, a lot of this came from not only Cotton talking about, really be clear about your offer. I only do this thing. And then going through David's alchemy training with putting together your offer and being very clear about what you are creating as far as expectations and then meeting those expectations as to why I've reorganized the way we describe what we do as a search engine optimization agency. So hopefully that was clear, but I know I didn't really answer the question because it's not in my business model. That is not a question that we encounter. That question would be, I guess, answered by how big the site is already, how much traffic the site is getting, what's justified as far as new links. If there's only a keyword volume of, 30 searches a month, maybe it's going to be hard to build 10 links in a month because there's just not enough traffic there for it. But if you're going after a keyword that has, 2,000 or 3,000 searches, and I know Google's, keyword suggestion tool has a lot broader ranges of keyword search volume nowadays, but you kind of get the gist of where I'm going with this, I think. You can build more links in a bigger market. So, all right, good morning, Danny, and Jennifer's on this morning, and then Nikhil. So find a no-follow link or no-follow link with keywords and a referring URL and send power through those. Yeah. And I know this is a little while. I'm kind of delayed on getting back over to that. And I would also look for those do follow links, like I kind of showed you that came from the Phoenix Chamber of Commerce to Search Explosion, Nikhil, and those will work out well. Do we submit a site we want analyzed here? Yeah, Malcolm, you can for sure. Saw your source code share back to a static picture, FYI. Okay. Yeah, I think we got that resolved. Hopefully, George. Looks like I'm kind of monitoring the feed on my embed, and it looks like we're okay. From Joe here. Oh yeah, Nikhil. Sorry, I meant do. Yep, do follows. Yep. From Joe. Hey Fletch, when doing internal linking on a site, do I link out with the exact keyword to the target page, or do I use variation mix? For example, homepage dogtrainingtips.com, and there's a subpage titled dogtrainingtips.com/best dog food. Would I link out from the homepage to the subpage using anchor text best dog food? Yeah, totally reasonable to do that, especially if it's a site navigation element. If it's more contextual, meaning it's down in the body of an article and you're just linking over to another article on your site that references that term, then you might want more variation, but you don't have to. Since it's on site, it's pretty hard to get spammy with your anchor text percentages. You can get kind of spammy with like keyword stuffing if you don't have anything but anchor text on a page, but even that's, your threshold is really, really high. You're probably not going to have any problems, just being clear with that stuff. Danny, thanks for these sessions. Sorry to see them. But oh, they're one of my favorites. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate that. All right, Ernie says thanks for the help. Much appreciated. Yeah, go ahead and just do some work on the brand, and then just more power. I mean, that site just didn't look like it had many links at all. It might be pretty new. I don't know, but just more power going to it. It should look like it. It looks like it should rank fine. I wouldn't imagine there's any penalties on it. It's just that that's a pretty general term, and there's some people more entrenched already. Chad Feingold, so PayPal plus Zoho. Actually use Zoho right now for CRM. Yeah, they've got accounting, they've got a payment, and then they've got a subscription, the combination of those three will all integrate pretty well for you, Chad, if you use those. From Michael, Fletch, I have a few domains registered last year for PBN sites. I paid for them using my credit card. There's no website set up yet. Now my question is, if I pay for privacy, am I still on time to protect myself with a footprint? Probably, yeah. Yeah, not ideal. You want to typically put the privacy in place when you purchase the domain, but you can add it later. Like I said, not the best policy, but for no more than 3 sites a year old that haven't even been set up, I think you should be fine with that, Michael. What is safe to do when registering money sites? Pay for privacy, fake persona, or pay with PayPal? Well, I put privacy on almost everything I have. Mostly just cut down like spam. I get a bunch of tons of emails, and I get just junk mail to my mailing address and everything else. It doesn't look weird to have privacy protection on websites. What privacy protection does is it just says, I have an authorized agent or a proxy mailing address, and it's the registrar. So if you want to contact me, go through them and they'll forward the information to me. So I don't see, privacy being odd. If you had 300-400 links and they were all from privacy protected domains, that looks a little weird, but that's not ever going to be the case, because you're going to get links from all sorts of places. Scrapers are going to send you links. You're going to pick up links from maybe somebody found your content, they want to link to you. There's going to be very natural variation just on the internet from that kind of thing. From Chad here, I used a JSON LD generator to add some schema to my site. I've yet to get an office for physical address and to add my Google My Business and schema. What else can I add that would benefit my city local SEO site, which is Chad Feingold SEO. Ranking for Roseville SEO on the homepage, and building out inner pages first. Let me go take a look here. Let's grab that, and I'm going to close a few of these tabs, and then we can pull the website up, take a look at it, see what we have going on. So once this loads, then I can grab all right, cool. Looks like the site's loading up fine, so I'll do a screen share and You guys can have a look at the site that we're looking at. Come on now. All right, so this is Chad's site. Ranking wise, going after a term called Roseville SEO, which Roseville, is that, I don't know, Oregon, maybe California. But he was asking about structured data, which, okay, so we're already on an enter pages, which is services. So go back to the home page. This is our home page, and looks good, clean design, like it. So without a local address yet, if there were a local address, just some things that I would consider having on your about page. I would have the address. On the contact page, I would have the address in your address block here, and then in your footer down at the bottom, I would consider having your address. Those are common places that addresses occur on websites. But beyond that, if we go to structured tool, just drop the site in there and see what's on it currently. And we've got H entries, which gives you a little information about your website. It's pretty tied to like Gravatars and certain blog themes. They'll mark that stuff up anyway. The H entries typically are limited to like blog posts. So things that have like a timestamp, they're a lot more connected to the timestamp element that's on here for getting that done. The website itself is going to be marked up pretty well, right? We've got a couple URLs. We've got an ID, which is a hashtag of the page, which is URI. Got the name of the company. We've got search actions for entry point, which is a search string. That's fine. Property query input. Okay, so this is just for the query. You can mark up services. So, oh, we have professional service. I typically don't use professional service because we don't have a license to do SEO. I'm sure you can. Yeah, Roseville, California. Yeah, I used to live in Woodland for a little while, so I think that's pretty close there. My memory serves. So, but all the rest of this looks pretty valid. We've got same as in here. Another thing you can mark up is yourself if you want. So if you want to create like a founder person or a service provider, you can then put your name into it, and then you'll be able to get same as. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I put this stuff together and just kind of hung it out there for folks. Have this URL. I don't need to keep going to this page, but it's easier to just grab it. Go to structured. You guys can kind of see what, as much as anything, I just kind of like this works, right? I'm ranked. It was really efficient to rank for this, and it's a valuable search term. So I've got web page marked up. You can see what elements are marked up here. I've got organization marked up with a couple different declarations, right? I've got my header marked up. I've got myself marked up as a local business, operating hours, all the same as. You see here down at the bottom with founder, I've got myself identified. Any rankings or reviews that you have, you can mark up as well, depending on what they're a review of. If it's a review of your entire business, you can have it marked up under local business. If it's a review of a service, then you can mark it up there. And so I have reviews of my services here. And then, like I said, reviews of my actual business are over here. So I got my footer marked up with my social media. And we already went through service, showed you those reviews. And then here's that site navigation element, right? And the elements that we have here. So I've changed those a little bit. We're getting ready to pull the site down and redesign it anyway, but you guys can check it out. Those things won't really change that much. They may grow. I may include some more stuff on those pages, but for the most part, they are they're how they're going to be for structured data, at least. All right, good question though, Chad. Persona, based on what you said, to my question above, I checked OMG Machine, Project Day, Project Orlando section. It does not have a video after September 2nd. When you mentioned the webinars are on the site, were you talking about another site? My site, searchexplosion.com. Yeah, I leave each of the webinars up. Has been my general kind of practice for the week until the next webinar replaces it. And so it being what's the 20th now, the one from September 13th just got replaced. And then I ran one on the 18th, which should be still in place on the rank and bank page. So I have a separate URL for Fletcher's Garage and for rank and bank, and those are there. If they're not current with what's in the membership area, I typically pull the video down and compress it and send it over to David pretty quickly after we wrap up the sessions as well. Kirsten, my website's ranking with most of the pages on the first SERP, but traffic's not really good. Love to have some directions on what I can do better. Naturallyhelpful.com. All right. So we're looking at traffic, Kirsten. So let's go paste this here. See if I can ascertain what we're going after. Looks like we are healthy eating blog for looks like candida and yeast, maybe primarily. So let's grab these inner pages, maybe. Oh, let me do a screen share. So this is Kirsten's blog. All right, so let's go. Let's look at one of these inner pages. So cause of extreme tiredness after eating. I would imagine that the keyword's somewhat related to that. So I would probably go look at maybe ranking for terms that get more search volume. I know this is, yeah, it's not even hardly worth going to, but I would look at going after extremely tired after eating. That's a term that I would look at for strategy. So if you're going to put resources into ranking for a keyword after you've kind of got like, oh, hey, I can do this and I get success. Now let's go after bigger fish, right? If you're going to do the same amount of fishing, you might as well catch bigger fish. So maybe you want to go after some bigger keywords. Another thing we could look at, maybe backlinks on Hrefs. Okay, so we don't have much in way of links that we've pulled. So it's either you've got them blocked and blocked properly, or we don't really have much outside of that. Depending on which one of those is the case, I would say go after bigger keywords. And to get bigger keywords, it may be something that you're going to have to add more bigger links to get. So if I guess misunderstood the question, or you maybe missed it a little bit, just let me know, Kirsten. But kind of general strategies, just looking at that, is probably go after bigger keywords. Sorry. All right, I got one site like that as well. Yeah, it looks like that's like 2016 theme or something as well. Dressing the site up, it's clean. There's nothing wrong with it. It can rank all day long, and it can convert too, right? But you might want to do a little bit more with design. So awesome on getting something put together and ranked, and yeah, just keep building. So that's kind of general direction. Tara, how you doing? A client that had SEO done before he hired me. He has a lot of first page results and some second and third page, but when checking in the command center, I only see branded anchor text. I would like to get on the first page for Ocala Landscaping Companies. Can I start using keyword anchor text on this particular site? Whoops. Let's grab just the domain. We'll have a look at it. and see what we have. So I'm gonna bring it up in browser, and then we'll have a look. You can see what I'm looking at. Come on, screen share. There we go. All right, cool. Why is this not selecting? But, oh, yeah, finally grabbed it. Click that sucker about 10 times. Okay. So here's our website. Looks like we are pretty media rich. Decent article on the homepage. Some blog links, it looks like, maybe. Oh, no, these are other service areas, it looks like. Okay, great. All right, let's go have a look at the backlinks on this puppy. All right, 126 backlinks from 41 domains. That's just fine. Look at the backlinks themselves. Scrappy Gabby, mysheriff.net, Route and Go, Yellow Pages, La Carte, Ask, Business Forum. Okay, so looking at landscaping sod and beyond, website URL, staying flat, that's an image link. Yeah, it should be good. Let's go check anchor breakdown. So yeah, it looks like most of the do follow anchors that I'm seeing here, Tara, have some pretty decent variability. So yeah, I would continue to use some branded, but you can go, you know, only one link with this, that's fine. But what you want to be careful of is like saying landscapers in Ocala, landscapers in Bellevue, landscapers in Lady Lake. Like I wouldn't do that. Like, you know, landscaping in Bellevue, landscaping in Lady Lake, landscaping sod, that keyword, and landscaping sod and beyond, landscaping sod and beyond, landscaping sod and beyond. Those are all, that's pretty heavy density with the keyword landscaping. With just this little chunk of keywords, right? Looking at the whole thing, we're still pretty good. You know, we got a few more landscaping up here, another 3 up here after the pipe. Yeah, I wouldn't say the site's in any trouble with over optimization, just looking at it. Yeah, I continue to add some variability with landscape services, landscape company, you know, plays off of the term landscaping. And then just because it is a brand name that includes the keyword landscape, you can probably have a higher percentage of landscaping, or a higher percentage of the keyword of the word landscape in your anchor text than you could if that were not the case. So you can also just send naked URLs with no anchor text at all, and you'll get a pretty decent push and in a pretty safe manner with a client like that. Okay. Good question. Kirsten, yep. Yeah, go for everything looked good and clean that I checked out there, Kirsten. So I'd say, yeah, just go ahead and let the throttle out a little bit more, you know, push a little bit more on it. Joseph Fletcher, I have a question about menus. Menu 1's primary menu. It's in the upper right corner and has home about contact. Second menu needs to be directly under the header and contain 5 names. RC truck, RC car, RC plane. Okay, under the 5 names will be one product for each name. Example, under RC truck will be the name of the truck. Clicking that. Okay. Having a really hard time understanding how to do this. I've Googled it, YouTubed it, drawn mind maps. Don't even know how to ask a question. Yeah, okay. Let's go have a look at this. Let me let's just pull up, find a dandy example site here, and log in. So what you're going to do is go to Appearance on the left side here, Joseph, and go down to Menus. And then depending on your theme, you can have, you know, a primary navigation menu. And then if we want to, where is it? Oh, I'm drawing a blank here. Oh, wait, I just saw it. Darn it. Sorry. So create a new menu right here. Okay. Just call this secondary. And then, so now we have a so primary's here. Didn't change at all. Okay. I have 2 items. You know, you said you had 3, so that's fine. So your primary is going to be your primary. You create the secondary by clicking up here. Once we go to secondary, what we'd wind up doing then is adding, so we could do, just going to grab a page. And if I had, let's look at all these. So if I had, okay, services, say, well, no, services is in, let's do, so it's in corporate identity and graphic design. Okay, so these are going to be added to the secondary menu. I'm going to call this the secondary navigation menu. This particular theme doesn't have it, so we won't be able to grab it. But like on graphic design here, if I wanted to have logo design, I just slide this over one. And now this is going to be a sub menu. See, it says sub item of graphic design. Now, if I wanted this to have a different slug on it, you could just name it something different. So you could name this, you know, graphic design service package, whatever you want to do, right? And then once you save that secondary menu, if this particular theme, I don't think it does. Let's just go check though. Let's flush the cache. It may pop up someplace on my site. I don't think it does. Yeah, no, it's not anywhere on this. I don't think it was. It may be on a service page. Yeah, it's not that I see anywhere. Anyway, they'll just need to make sure that you're using a theme. I'm going to go back in and delete it before I forget though. So secondary menu, we're just going to delete. You'll just want to make sure that you're using a theme that utilizes 2 menus and that those menus are there. So hopefully that makes sense and you could follow along with that. Great question though. Sometimes those things are just baffling until you know how to look. It's a kind of a little bit of a play on your name though. So hopefully, little pun, little tongue in cheek. Hopefully it's not too bad. All right, cool. Where did we go? I have a bunch of stuff open. Let me close some windows. Okay. All right. Back to clean. Oh, we got the site from Joseph here. Let me grab that real quick and see if we can. What do you think? That's it. I'm just going to pull it up behind and make sure that. Oh yeah. Okay. So you may have to get into the header file and adjust the navigation elements, and if they want to keep this theme and this layout, Joseph. Otherwise, though, that's exactly where you'll adjust it in the WordPress dashboard. All right, Kathy, thank you, Fletch. Oh, Miss Tuesday mornings. Tara, thank you, Fletch. Command Center's awesome, but Hrefs is, yeah, a little more thorough. It does grab some more links, Tara, for sure. All right, cool. Nikhil, thanks for the sessions. They're awesome and very helpful to see how your mind works. Sometimes it's disturbing, but thanks for that, Nikhil. Jennifer Glidden, I'll agree. Oh, good. Oh, thank you guys so much, Lloyd. I've seen nothing ranking the top 100 to 200 after doing on page. Is there a cause for concern? Site penalty, site passes penalty check. Probably not. Probably just need to either give it some time or give it some juice, Danny. Sometimes the site just won't rank in the top couple hundred. If it passes penalty check, that's right now our best strategy for determining if there's a penalty. Top 100 to 200 is more indicative of it. Oh man, no, so it's indexed. Yeah, it just may be an issue with. I'm trying to think through that. If there'd be anything else that could create that scenario, Danny. Yeah, I just maybe try to get some traffic to it. Use crowd search or something to get some traffic going to it through social or some direct, or even maybe buy a little bit of traffic, some cheap traffic to it. See if that you can do. Dante, so no more garage and repair after today. Too many annoying questions gotten to you. That's not it, Dante, but you gave the smile there, so it's all good. Yeah, that's correct. Today will be the last session for the garage for a little while. All right, so I think we got to all the questions that I've seen so far. Maybe give it a minute or two and see if anything else pops in here, but otherwise we'll wrap up for the day and let everybody get back to their building. So hopefully everybody's having a good week of that. Good stretch here. I've been up for a while this morning, so. All right, anything else I can think of? I can't think of anything right now. All right, well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap things up, guys, but it has been a pleasure doing these. And like I said, things aren't going away forever, but they're going home for a while. So it used to be a bouncer, the bar. There's kind of the little famous, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here thing. So we'll probably end that with one of those. All right, retention.media homepage. Anything stick out or that needs attention? That's a huge question, broad question, Cody. We're looking at conversion-wise, looks fine. Social media, SoundCloud even. Clean website, pretty good. It's all in place. I just got this pulled up behind the screen share. Screen share was doing kind of some weird stuff. Some decent backlinks coming through. Brand name, keywords. Yeah, I'd probably look at getting some branded keywords coming in. Retention media, Cody, as your next piece of strategy. Everything looks good though, man. Solid website. It was retention.media. All right, cool. So we can start to bring back the garage movement. Yeah, pickets and everything. Be good. Forward to hearing you. We started garage repair again. Oh, right on. Thank you guys. I missed if you answered. Are you doing any live webbies? Yeah. We're kind of roughly planning on it right now, Elizabeth. So we're kind of putting that together along with the finishing pieces for OMG Live. So getting both of those taken care of. All right, guys. Looks like everybody's just kind of saying goodbyes and thank yous. So I don't want to miss people, but not pay attention. Dante, Joseph, Cody. Thank everybody for being on. And shoot, yeah, I'll still be in Facebook groups and running my Sunday sessions. So hopefully you guys can make it on Sundays or catch the replays or catch up on some replays or just build some sites, make some money, and come back again next time around for some new strategies. So anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap things up on that note and let you guys get back to your working. So you guys take care, enjoy the rest of your days, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.